There is a place on Earth where no light reaches, 3,800 meters beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. The pressure there is 400 times what you feel right now. And on June 18, 2023, 5 people paid $250,000 each to go there. Their destination, the RMS Titanic, the most famous shipwreck in history, lying on the ocean floor since 1912. Until then, visited only by remote vehicles and a handful of specialized scientific submersibles. Their vessel, the Titan, a submersible built by a company called OceanGate, it was experimental. It was made of carbon fiber, a material never before used for a deep-sea passenger vessel. Most submersibles use titanium or steel. The 5 people on board: Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, a British billionaire explorer; a French Titanic expert who had visited the wreck 37 times; a Pakistani businessman and his 19-year-old son. The Titan was controlled by a Logitech game controller, a Zero device, the kind you use to play video games. This was not a joke. This was the actual control system for a vessel diving to Titanic depths. The hull was a carbon fiber cylinder, 5 inches thick. Titanium end caps were glued to the carbon fiber. Glued, the materials expand and contract at different rates under pressure. Engineers had warned Rush that this was a fundamental design flaw. OceanGate's own director of marine operations had raised concerns in 2018. He wrote a report warning that the carbon fiber hull had no way to detect if it was failing. He was fired. He later testified that every safety protocol was bypassed to keep the Titan operational. 38 separate warnings were sent to OceanGate, from industry experts, from submersible engineers, from deep-sea explorers. They warned that the carbon fiber hull would fail under repeated stress, that passengers were at risk, that this vessel should not be diving to the Titanic. Stockton Rush dismissed all of it. He famously said, "At some point, safety is just pure waste." He believed innovation required breaking rules. He wanted to prove that carbon fiber could revolutionize deep-sea exploration. He bet his life on it, and the lives of everyone who trusted him. June 18, 2023. The Titan begins its dive. It takes 2.5 hours to reach Titanic depth. At 1 hour 45 minutes into the descent, contact is lost. The support ship waits. Nothing. An hour passes. 2 hours. The sub is somewhere in the dark. Alone. A massive international search begins. The U.S. Coast Guard, the U.S. Navy, the Canadian Coast Guard, ships and aircraft from multiple nations racing to the search zone. 96 hours of oxygen estimated on board. The clock was ticking. For 4 days, the world held its breath. Reports of banging noises detected by sonar. Rhythmic, every 30 minutes. Was someone alive down there pounding on the hull? Hope surged. On June 22, a remotely operated vehicle found debris on the ocean floor. The tail cone of the Titan, then the landing frame, then the front end bell. The submersible had imploded, and the truth was worse than anyone imagined. The U.S. Navy had actually detected the implosion on its acoustic sensors the same day the Titan went missing. They knew. They just didn't tell the public immediately because they couldn't be absolutely certain. The rescue effort was never a rescue. It was already a recovery. What happens during an implosion? The pressure outside the hull is immense. When the hull fails, it collapses inward instantly. The air inside compresses to the temperature of the sun's surface. The entire sub is crushed into a ball of debris in less than a millisecond. It is over before the nervous system can register pain. The investigation found that the carbon fiber hull had developed microscopic cracks from previous dives. Each compression and decompression cycle had damaged the composite. Everyone who understood this material had warned about exactly this. The hull was essentially disintegrating dive by dive. The Titan was never certified by any maritime safety organization. Deep-sea submersibles that carry passengers are supposed to be classed, inspected by independent engineers. The Titan wasn't. Rush had argued that innovation moved too fast for regulators. He was wrong. In the aftermath, OceanGate suspended all operations. The Titanic community mourned. Paul Henry Nargialet, the French Titanic expert who died on board, had spent his life protecting the wreck. He was 77 years old. He had survived more deep dives than almost anyone alive. The Titan disaster changed deep-sea tourism forever. It proved that the deep ocean is not a playground, that pressure does not care about your ambition, that the laws of physics are enforced without mercy. At 3,800 meters, a mistake is fatal before you know you made one.